You are a donkey.
To the latest on that police killing of a black man.
Now to new developments in the deadly spa shooting rampage.
And yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
And so we are in a state of emergency.
Okay, white supremacist violence is and always has been the number one threat to our society.
But I'm also very proud that my wife is white.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
All right, Charlamagne, please tell me, why was I your donkey of the day?
Well, donkey of the day for Wednesday, January 29th goes to Georgia Representative Rich McCormick. He is a Republican who was on CNN yesterday defending Trump's federal aid freeze on school lunch programs. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I grew up on school lunch programs, okay, during the school year and at summertime. My grandmother was a lunch lady at R.A. Ready Intermediate School in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Dropping the clues bomb for R.A. Ready Intermediate School, okay? So sometimes she would bring those lunches home. And I'm going to tell you something. I remember one kid in fourth grade who was so poor. Mind you, none of us came from any money, but he had it worse than a lot of us. That school lunch program was the only time that young brother used to eat throughout the whole day. And I remember we had an evil, mean-ass teacher named Miss Freeman. That woman used to punish that young man by telling him he couldn't eat lunch, and I'll never forget the pain in that young man's face when she used to do that to him. People are really, really cruel, and that's what we are seeing from folks like Rich McCormick. Okay, not only does he agree with the federal aid freeze on school lunch programs, he says that kids should be working instead of receiving free lunch. Let's go to CNN. Pamela Brown for the report, please.
Would you support getting rid of, school lunch for vulnerable kids and breakfast and Head Start? Do you support that? And what do you say to your constituents?
When you talk about school lunches, hey, I worked my way through high school. I don't know about you, but I worked since I was, before I was even 13 years old. I was picking berries in the fields before we had child labor laws that precluded that. I was a paper boy. And when I was in high school, I worked my entire way through. You're telling me that kids who stay at home instead of going to work at Burger King and McDonald's during the summer should stay at home and get their free lunch instead of going to work? I think we need to have a top-down review.
I think you're painting a lot of these kids with a broad brush. I would say that's not necessarily a fair assessment of all of the kids. So you would say all the kids in your district who use the free lunch, for example, or breakfast, they're all just sitting at home and not working. Okay, I just want to clarify because that seems like what you were trying to insinuate.
This gives us a chance. This gives us a chance, though, to see where is the money really being spent. How many people got their start in fast food restaurants when they were kids versus just giving a blanket rule that gives all kids lunches in high school who are capable of going out and actually getting a job and doing something that makes them have value, thinking about their future instead of thinking about how they're going to sponge off the government.
Okay, you want high school kids to get a job. What about elementary school? What about middle school kids? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me tell you something, man, that you already probably know. America does not give a damn about poor people. I mean, they could care less. When I first heard this story, I thought to myself, does Rich McCormick know that there are poor white, kids that he'll be depriving as well? Because, blackness is just my default setting. So I just assume this is happening because of race, because growing up, I was a black kid who benefited from school lunch programs. But no, guys like Rich McCormick don't give a damn about color. They care about. They don't give a. They don't give a damn about race. They don't give a damn about poor people. Period. Okay, it's all a matter of class. But I just want to tell folks like Rich McCormick, because the Trump administration is ahead of schedule on ruining the economy. By the way, I want to say something, but they are ahead of schedule. See, I've told y'all before that the economy since World War II does better when it's a Democrat in the White House. And this isn't about party affiliation because I'm an independent. I'm just dealing with facts. There have been 11 recessions in this country. 10 of them have been Republican-led. So I'm already anticipating that for this administration. Say what you want. Democrats create jobs. Democrats at least attempt to expand the middle class and strengthen the economy. Okay, I understand that a lot of folks don't always feel that in their pockets, so it's hard for people to believe that. I get it. But let's be clear. This capitalist society we live in doesn't matter who's in charge. Okay, Republicans and Democrats, because the gap between the haves and have-nots is so wide. Okay, the wealth inequality in this country is so great that what they are currently implementing by attempting to, order this federal spending freeze, you stopping Medicaid, school breakfast lunch programs, Section 8 rental assistance, the special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants and kids, farm credits, the VA, the SBA, defense contracts, anything that provides people with financial relief, they trying to put a freeze on. Rich McCormick, if the have-nots, the poor, if they hungry and can't get food, what you think they gonna eat? That's right, your ass. Wait a minute, that might have excited you. No. Not your literal ass. I mean figuratively, as in eat the rich. okay? Let me give you a reminder from the late, great Tupac Shakur on what happens when a country doesn't take care of the least of us.
If I know that in this hotel room they have food every day, and I'm knocking on the door every day to eat, and they open the door, let me see the party, let me see like them throwing salami all over I mean, just like throwing food around. But they're telling me there's no food in here. You know what I'm saying? Every day. I'm standing outside trying to sing my way in. You know what I'm saying? We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in. After about a week, that song is going to change to we hungry, we need some food. After 2-3 weeks, it's like, you know, give me all the food, breaking out the door. And after a year, you just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm picking the lock, coming through the door, blasting, you know what I'm saying? It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, you know, with civil rights movement. We was asking, you know, now those people that were asking, they're all dead and in jail. So now what do you think we're going to do?
It's only a matter of time, okay? Rich McCormick, this is how I know folks like yourself, y'all don't really believe in Christ. Y'all don't really believe in Christ because Matthew 25:40 talks about taking care of the least of us, all right? Talks about taking care of the least of us. It says, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. This just means that by caring for those who are most vulnerable, are marginalized, you are serving Jesus himself. That's not what you're doing, Rich McCormick. Please give that man the biggest hee-haw.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for that Donkey Today.
Mm-hmm.
Donkey Today is sponsored by renowned personal injury attorney Michael the Bull Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey when you need a fighter on your side. If you're ever injured, go to michaelthebull.com. That's michaelthebull.com. And when you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Wake that ass up
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.